welcome to my channel and welcome back to my subscribers. Thank you as always for all of your support that you show me here on YouTube. Thank you for your support that you show me on Facebook in the junk journaling groups, and thank you so much for your support in the Etsy store. So I have been away for a little bit. I was doing some brainstorming. I also created a new paper line, and that one is called A Merry Vintage Christmas. And the project for today, it's going to show some of the new papers. I went back to the tea bag folio and did a Christmas version of it with a matching box. So I thought it would be a nice little gift to give someone, maybe a neighbor, maybe someone at work, just to let people know you're thinking about them and to wish them a happy holiday. This box is inspired by Poodles Papercrafts. So the original box was a two-piece box. It was bigger. This is a one-piece box, and it's smaller, but I will link to Poodle's video. She is awesome if you've ever seen any of her work. So let's just get started. So here's the box, and here's some of the paper and the new labels that I worked on, and at another point we'll do some charms. So let's take a look at the box and the contents inside of it. So okay. So this is the box, and you can decorate it as much as you like or minimally. And then when you flip it open, these are some of the new labels that I created for the holiday season. And then inside it is the little tea bag folio. So here is the front, and this is the back, and it highlights some of the new papers. And let's take a look at the inside, and if you've done your measurements correctly, you can actually put tea and a sweetener in there. So it's a cute little gift to give someone, just to let a person know you're thinking about. You know, it's a kind gesture. You know, it can be very expensive to buy a gift, and here's an inexpensive way to wish someone a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas. So on the inside we have a specimen. You can journal on the back. Another little card that you can journal on the back. And then if you open this up this way, so here's another tag. Well, this is a tag from the paper line, and another little label there. And then here's another journaling card. And then we'll close this up. And then this flips up, and there's another journaling card, and I put some music in the background. And I always like to give folks a place to do some writing, some journaling, so a little notepad. And on this side, again, this is some of the papers. So let's open this up and see what's inside. It's also one of the papers that's on the inside. And we have Santa's list. So are you on the naughty side or are you on the nice side? So it's a place to do some journaling. And then we have another little card, and you can do some journaling on the back as well. And then one of the labels here that I it's ugly sweater season. So what I want to do now is very quickly review how to do the tea bag folio, and then let's look at how to create the box to go with it. All right, so let's review things. Let's get this stuff out of the way. And what we need is we need a sheet cardstock that is 8.5 by 3 inches. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to just put a little notch at the 1.5 inch mark, just a little notch there. So that's going to be our guide for folding. And then we'll get this stuff out of the way. And what you're going to do is make sure you do your distressing. So I have this already distressed. And then using that little notch that's in there to get us started so that we fold things as close as possible to the center. We're going to bring this to the center here. And I'll fold that down. Fold the sides here. And then what you want to do is to keep things from shifting too much, put just a little bit of glue. Keep your glue very high, not low, and later on I'll show you why. So just a little bit of glue at the top, and that keeps things in place as best as possible. Okay, so once you've got your glue in there, then you're going to bring this point to this line here. So, and the glue is to try to keep things from shifting too much. Okay. Okay. Okay, and then let's distress that. And now what you want to do is, I have a string here. This is 8 inches. And we're going to attach the string. When you staple the string, you don't want to staple it all the way down here. You want to staple it as far back as you can. And you'll see why in a minute. This is always a little bit of a challenging part. Okay, you want to get the staple in the center and as far back as possible, and try to be straight as possible. Okay, well, here goes. Okay, then you want to tie the knot. And then turn this over. If you staple on an angle, then you're going to bring the bottom up. If you staple on an angle, then bring this edge to the lowest part of the angle. Okay. And then make sure that your sides, everything is in alignment. So I have a slight angle. It's not a big angle, but I'm still going to bring it to the lowest part of that angle. And then what I'm going to do now is get that back to the lowest part of the angle. Make sure that these sides are aligned, and then we'll fold. Okay, then we'll turn this over, and this here, this is your guide. This is your guide, so you don't want to cut it off. What you want to do is you want to rest your scissor against it and then cut. And you'll do the same on the other side. You want to rest your scissor against it and cut. Okay, and then let's distress that. And then what I usually do is I bring over the scoreboard. this at the 6. All right, because I distressed it, I'm able to see the line, and I put the line at the 6, and then I go out 5/8. So I'm going to 6 and 5/8 this way, and then I'm going 5/8 this way, which is 5 3/8. Okay, and now I'm going to just bend this lightly, and I want to make sure that everything fits together, aligns together before I commit to these folds. Now remember I said not to put your glue all the way down? This is the reason why. If you put it all the way down, then this can't slip under. Okay, so this slips under, everything is aligning nicely, and now I'm going to commit. So I'm going to crease these, and then, you know, do your distress, and do your distressing on the inside. This is getting a little bit dry, so let me just ink up a little bit. So you want to see these folds because it's important when you're putting your other pieces inside your little tea bag folio. Okay, let me get rid of this. Now when we did those cuts, we lost some of our distressed line, so you want to get that back on there. All right, I'll do that on both sides. Okay. Okay, now I had some inner pieces, so very quickly I want to show you how I did that. So I started out with a piece of paper that is 4 7/8 by 3 1/2.
Score at 2 1/2 before rotating.
And then I scored it. I turned the paper clockwise, and then I scored at a 1/2 inch, right? So on the shorter end, this is where you want to cut. So you'd cut this and cut this. That gets removed. Then you'd have this other little rectangular piece, and you want to angle cut that. And then you get this. You get that fold that you saw that I had. And what you want to do is you want to stay between this score line and this here. You know, just pretend that it's a line where these angles meet, and that's why I used the measurements that I used, because if I made it any bigger, then it can interfere with this closing properly. Okay, so you would put your glue on this side, and you would glue that down between these areas that I mentioned. And then I had the notepad. So the notepad, the measurements on the paper is 2 1/2 by 2 7/8. Then I had a little cover over the notepad, and that cover is 1 5/8 by 2 1/2. So, and that 2 1/2 will meet the 2 1/2 here. And then I did a score line at 5/8 of an inch. And what you would do is you would glue all of your papers just a little bit at the top together, glue this paper to the back, and then you'd add glue to the top here, glue to the back, and that covers up that little angle that you have there. And that's how I was able to do this part of the tea bag folio. Okay, and the rest of the things I'll leave up to you. What I'd like to get to now is I'd like to get to the box. Oh, but there's one other thing. You know how tea bags, they have that little that little square on the bottom. So I did that, and this is 2 inches. It's 2 1/4 inches by 1 1/8 of an inch, and then you would fold that in half. So you'd get your square, and then you would glue that to the other end of the string. Okay, so now let's get to the box. Okay, so let's get all of this out of the way and let's get to the box. For the box, you will need a paper cardstock. Okay, you will need cardstock that is 9 3/4 by 6 1/4. Okay, so now on the 9 3/4 side, you are going to score at 2 1/4. You're going to score again at 3. You're going to score again at 6 1/2. You're going to score again at 7 1/4. Then you're going to turn your paper clockwise. Okay, and this keeps the shorter end at the top, and we'll come back to that. Then you're going to score at 3/4 of an inch. You're going to score again 1 1/2 of an inch. You're going to score again at 4 3/4, and another score at 5 1/2. Now we have to eliminate a couple of things, okay? So that this looks a little bit more like a box. So let me turn this over. And these are the parts that you're going to eliminate. I can do this same drawing again on this side using my little template here, okay? So let me get a pen, okay? So again, with that shorter portion up here, the one that is 2 1/4, okay? So this is what you're going to cut out. You're going to cut out this box. You're going to cut out this box. You're going to cut out this box. Every place where I have put an X, okay, you're going to cut out. And on this side, okay, once you cut that out, then you'll get something that looks like this. Okay. So what we need to do now, these little boxes here, they need to look a little bit closer to this, where we can flip them, okay? So I have drawn here some arrows. It's this line right here that you want to get rid of. Okay, so let's do that now. We want to cut, right? Right? We don't want to go past this score line that's here. Okay? And then we want to put this on an angle. And then we want to do an angle on the other side as well. Just a very light angle. It doesn't have to be heavy. Okay? So let me get that a little bit more. Okay. And then we want to do the same thing on the other side. So we'll do the same thing on this side. And then we want to angle cut. And angle cut. Okay, so now you have something that looks like this. Okay. And now what you want to do is use your corner rounder. So I want to use this one here. So I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to just cut these major points here. Okay, so we got all of these major corners. Okay, let's get this out of the way. And then what we want to do now is I'm just going to do some burnishing. I'm not doing it that hard, just doing some burnishing. On all of the various places where we did the score lines. Okay. So now we want to put glue on this part. We want to put glue on here because we want this to be glued to this. We don't want anything to interfere with the our little tea bag folio being able to rest on the inside. Okay, so once everything is glued down, it's going to look like this, right? And then your lid will come over. All right, and then you can decorate the whole 9 yards. So let me seal this up and so that you could see. Alrighty, so I'm going to put some glue here. And I'm going to put some glue here. And line that up. And line that up here. Okay, and then we want to get some glue on the inside here. And I'm trying to work fast while things are still wet in case I need to do any shifting. So this is about 3/4 of an inch or so, based on how we did our measurements. So I don't want to put my glue too far out. Okay, and I need to shift that just a little bit. Okay, and there is our box, and let's get our little tea bag folio. And I want you to see how I put the tea in here. Let me just fold this over for now. So I'm putting the tea right next to that crease and my little sweetener in the pocket. Okay, so I want to make sure that I pull this so that this side is resting on this side, things on this side are resting on this side. Okay, and that tucks in, and then if I didn't rest things within the within these folds, then this starts to expand and it might have a little bit of a problem getting into the box. So as you can see, that gets into the box very nicely. It's not wobbling all over the place, right? And then you would just close your lid, and then you could decorate your box any way you wish. All right? Okay, so that is it for today. And I used a thin cardstock. If you want a box that's much more sturdier, then I would say use an 80-pound paper. If you like this video, please, 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 please hit the like button, share, and please subscribe. Alrighty, take care and see you next time. Bye-bye.